Gemini, welcome back. I'm here to do a mid-February reading for you in love. Maybe if you're here before, you know I don't typically do the mid-month anymore. However, I thought I would just do that given that it's February, it's around Valentine's Day, there's a lot on people's minds. So I'm using two decks and seeing where you and your person are. I've been shuffling them, but I'm going to shuffle more. And we'll pull some cards for you and the person you're thinking about. And you can see what line you might identify with, Gemini. And they could be reversible lines as it can happen, you know. You'll see and you'll know where you are. And if this doesn't resonate, check your other signs, okay? So, more. All right, so Gemini. All right, so for Gemini in this time frame, we've got Son of Swords, Daughter of Cups, Three of Swords, and Son of, we got two here. The Eight of Cups and the Son of Pentacles, which is like the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, so we began with the Son of Swords, which is like the Knight of Swords. And so what I think is happening is I think that you're the Son of Swords, Gemini. And I actually think, and the bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands. I think you're very focused on getting the stability and less crazy in this relationship than maybe you've had. And I think you're focused away from some of the emotion for now. It's your tendency anyway, but, you know, nobody's ever just one sign. You know, you're not just an air sign, Gemini. So anyway, you're kind of focused away from maybe somebody extending an offer to you, Daughter of Cups. Maybe you're not clear on what you want. There's been some heartbreak here, that's for sure, with the Three of Swords. And it could have been associated with the same person that's coming back to give you an offer. You're focused on the opposite direction. And they may have walked away into abrupt ending. And they may have been an earth sign or an air sign or a water sign, or it doesn't really matter. But they may have been somebody who was very focused on work, very concrete, not as emotional. Maybe you were lacking clarity, you were lacking truth, and you or swapped some words. There may have been some harsh words shared that were very hurtful. But for whatever reason, you or this person walked away, like done, left the building, walked away. In this particular deck, they read the Eight of Cups, meaning to be much more resolute, much more final than in some decks we kind of read it like, well, I have to go away and, you know, think about it, that kind of thing. This is definitely putting out like that there's an energy of there was really an ending. There was an ending to achieve something more tangible, something more sturdy, something that would build a better foundation, something that would create the happiness even that you were seeking. There's a possibility that there's a third party because we have another three, and there was a tower. Maybe there was a tower moment. I don't know. I don't want to read too much into those other cards, but definitely the Sun is a good card that was showing up here, and the foundation being a Four of Wands. It looks like you're kind of moving yourself away from some kind of erratic emotion or an offer you can't trust, or maybe you think it's too surface level or flirty, but it's, you know, you've been hurt before or by this person. You're coming off of a really bad breakup-y feeling, like a betrayal, or just, you know, really just, you know, really bad hurt. So again, I'm not sure if the offer coming through right now is from the same person and you don't trust it, or you're coming across something newer and for that reason, you're just kind of feeling skittish about it. Queen of Wands, Nine of Swords, Queen of Coins, and Page of Swords. So another person or the other person is in the energy of the Queen of Wands, the Four of Cups. You both have fours on the bottom of the deck. So they're feeling pretty mixed, I've got to say. They're showing up, I think, this is what I'm going to say. They could be a fire sign, they may not be. But they're showing up, Gemini, like the one that everybody wants, confident, attractive, charismatic. They're showing up like that. However, right next to that is the Nine of Swords. So despite how they're showing up, they are definitely wrestling with some things. This is a very kind of gnarly Nine of Swords. He's kind of like, if you can see, he's like grabbing his knees, and there's blood coming out, you know, from underneath him. He's very distraught. So despite the fact, I think that they are feeling insecure in some way, but they don't show it as much. They also want to create stability. They also want the right offer. They may also want to communicate, come back around to communicate. They know that you left the building. They have the Queen of Pentacles too. So they have two queens in their they have two queens. I'm feeling a little more of the third party energy here. I'm feeling like if this Queen of Wands is not representing them, they're sitting in the Swords energy with two women around them that they had to make a decision over. And when it comes to you, they were mixed and not paying much attention and in conflict over it. They may actually have been leaning toward somebody else at some point, and that may have been the hurt that you felt around it, and you decided you couldn't take being in the balance on it. That's possible. And it's definitely possible that you had to approach something much more practical for yourself and realize you couldn't hold out for something that was an illusion. You know, you had to deal with that. So I'm just kind of I just want to understand, why do we have the two queens and the Nine of Swords in the middle with this person? I'm going right to this person for a second. Six of Coins and Judgment. I don't think it was an even give and take. And the King of Swords. This person could easily be the King of Swords. Or this could be you on their mind, but I'm thinking they're the King of Swords. King of Swords are, you know, wands in reverse. This is definitely somebody who has thought about coming back around. They have questioned their choices with you, but I'm feeling like they had a choice they had to make. And maybe they made a choice by not even articulating the choice, but they made a choice. And it's really unfortunate, but the whole process was extremely painful for you, because you were probably giving more than you were getting, I'm going to say, out of the gate for sure. And you didn't know where you stood with them, and you decided at some point to cut it off. For your betterment, because something better, more tangible is coming back around. And you've got Sun and the Four of Wands, so good for you. But I think this was a real kind of difficult process in the making to figure out how to leave, how to change, how to pivot and not count on this person. And I mean, seriously, I got to admit, and I don't know whether you want to hear it or not, but I think this was a very hard decision, or a hard place for this person to be in. They were kind of between a rock and a hard place. And I do also believe that with the King of Wands as the second card under the bottom, that there could have easily have been some soulmate energy, either between you and this person, or them and the person that they had to go with, or were thinking about, or are thinking about going with. So I don't know even all of what I just said, because it was a bit stream of consciousness. I hope some of that made sense. I don't know. I have no idea now. But Gemini, let's see if there's any other advice for you. That's your advice. Leverage your insatiability. So somehow it's saying, you know, you need to get past the hurt. You need to get toward what makes you happy, what brings out your own positive cups energy, strong, stable desire for this kind of a structure. The sun and joy and your own insatiability. Leverage your insatiability. So if you have standards, that's your insatiability. You know, where do you have the things you can't get enough of? What do you need? So be aware and identify what you need and can't get enough of, and continue on that path. Follow your path toward the things that you need, or let them at least be a teacher for you. So if you find yourself moving into a complex situation because you feel you're insatiable on it, or there's a passion around it, maybe leverage it. Just make sure it's in the healthiest way, that you are pointing your own insatiability and what you need and desire in a place where you're going to get the most back. Because I'm getting the vibe that this object of your affection may have been good with that for a while, but in the end game had a decision to make that they got in torpor over, and that it ended up being they maybe did not handle this well. So unfortunately, this was difficult for you, but I see you as coming out of that. I get the feeling this is kind of a phantom pain for you, Gemini, which is a good thing, because look at you have the sun, which is the sun and the Four of Wands, definitely a good sign. So anyway, I hope that helped in some way. Let me know, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks.